It was a gray, drizzling morning in Maple Creek. The streets shimmered with leftover rain, and Alara Vance, in her worn sneakers and faded cleaner's uniform, walked briskly towards Sterling Towers. Her bag swung lightly with each step. Inside, a simple sandwich, a bottle of water, and her old pair of cleaning gloves. Alara lived by routine. She couldn't afford to be late, not with rent due and her younger sister Lily depending on her. As she crossed a quiet street, the roar of an engine shattered the silence. A white SUV sped through a large puddle, sending a wave of filthy water crashing over her. She gasped, stunned, as the water soaked her from head to toe. The SUV didn't stop. A tinted window slid down, and a woman with red lips and diamond-studded sunglasses laughed cruelly. "Watch where you stand next time, peasant," she sneered before speeding away. Alara stood frozen, water dripping from her clothes and hair. Her fingers clenched around the strap of her bag. She blinked hard, willing back tears. Then, quietly, she picked up her belongings and kept walking. Across the street, a black sedan had stopped. Inside sat Alistair Finch, a powerful but discreet billionaire. He had seen the whole thing, the splash, the mockery, the humiliation. He knew the woman in the SUV, Serafina Thorne, a fashion influencer known more for her arrogance than her talent. Alistair's eyes narrowed. "Find out who that girl is," he said into his phone. Everything. At Sterling Towers, Alara arrived late, soaked and shivering. Her supervisor, Mr. Harrison, scowled. "You look like you rolled in the gutter," he snapped. "Get cleaned up and get to work. VIPs are arriving." Without a word, Alara changed into her backup uniform, tied her wet hair, and got to work. No one offered help. Still, she worked tirelessly, thinking of Lily asleep back home and the job she couldn't afford to lose. That afternoon, in his skyscraper office, Alistair reviewed the report his assistant handed him. "Her name is Alara Vance," Ms. Davies reported. 23. 2 jobs. Lives in Willow Creek. Raising her sister alone. Mother passed 2 years ago. Alistair studied her photo. She had a soft, quiet smile, holding a small girl in her arms. Something stirred in him, a memory of his own mother, once a hotel cleaner herself. He looked out the window, thoughtful. "We'll help her," he said at last. But not yet. The next morning, Alara found something strange at her locker. A warm sandwich, new gloves, and a small folded note. "For the girl who works with grace, even when the world is unkind." She looked around, puzzled. No one else was there. She took a bite of the sandwich and closed her eyes. It had been weeks since she'd tasted anything that warm or fresh. Meanwhile, across town, Serafina Thorne was bragging about her flawless lifestyle on a morning talk show, blissfully unaware that a photo of her SUV splashing Alara was already circulating quietly through certain high-level inboxes. Later that day, Alara was called into the supervisor's office. "Effective tomorrow," Mr. Jenkins said, barely glancing at her. "You've been reassigned to the VIP floor. Better pay, less traffic. Try not to mess it up." Alara stared at him, stunned. I didn't apply for that." "It's approved. Don't ask questions." Whispers erupted behind her. "Her? VIP floor. Did she charm someone?" Alara heard it all, but said nothing. That night, she hugged Lily tight. "Something strange is happening," she whispered. Lily smiled sleepily. "Maybe it's something good." The next morning, Alara stepped onto the VIP floor for the first time. Everything was spotless, scented with fresh-cut lilies and polish. She moved carefully, making sure every corner gleamed. One guest sat in a nearby lounge chair reading a paper, sunglasses shielding his face. He watched her silently, Alistair again in disguise. He noted her quiet efficiency, her humility, the way she treated each guest with genuine care. At last he approached. "Excuse me," he said. "Do you know where the Sky Lounge is?" Alara smiled gently. "Yes, sir. I'll walk you there." As they moved through the golden halls, he asked, "How long have you worked here?" 2 years, she replied. "It's not glamorous, but I'm grateful." He paused. "You don't just work. You persevere. That matters." Alara blinked. "Thank you. I don't hear that often." She walked away, unaware that the man behind her held the key to changing her entire life. That night, Serafina received a plain envelope. Inside, a photo of her SUV mid-splash. A note attached read, "Not everyone forgets." She tore it to pieces, but a flicker of fear crept into her perfectly curated world. And Alara? The next morning, another note waited in her locker. "Keep shining. The world sees you." She held it close, not knowing who watched, only that something had shifted, and somewhere above the skyline, Alistair Finch smiled quietly. Her story, the one no one ever expected, was just beginning. Alara sat quietly in the rooftop garden, clutching the scholarship letter in her hands. Below, the city buzzed with life, but up here there was calm. Her world, once so small, was opening wide. Alistair Finch approached, carrying 2 mugs of hot cocoa. "You're quiet," he said, handing her one. "I'm overwhelmed," Alara whispered. "I've only ever tried to survive. This feels unreal." Alistair nodded. "I understand more than you think." She looked at him skeptically. "You're a billionaire. What do you know about survival?" "My mother raised me alone," he said softly. "She cleaned offices nobody noticed. She never gave up. You remind me of her." Alara's throat tightened. "I wonder if she sees me now." "I'm sure she does," Alistair said. "And she'd be proud." Tears slipped down her cheeks, but she let them fall. "Thank you," she breathed. "For what?" "For seeing me. Not just what I do, but who I am." Alistair smiled. "Most see only their own reflection. But when you walk through that mud, head held high, I saw something real." The next morning, Serafina Thorne stared at her reflection. The perfect makeup, the polished smile. It all felt hollow now. Power, she thought, wasn't control. It wasn't protection from consequences. Her reputation was cracking. People whispered, suspicion spread, and worst of all, Alara was rising. She scrolled through her phone. There it was, Alara smiling beside Alistair Finch, holding her scholarship letter. Serafina's jaw clenched. She threw the phone aside, fear curling inside her. The world was changing, and she couldn't stop. IT the hotel. Alara walked the lobby with her head held high. Some staff greeted her respectfully. Others avoided her gaze. She no longer shrank. Brenda, recently returned from suspension, passed by near the lockers. Alara stopped her. "You don't have to apologize," Alara said softly. Brenda blinked. "Why?" "Because hate weighs you down," Alara replied, then walked away. Weeks passed. Alara began her hospitality classes while working part-time. She studied late, driven by determination and a new feeling. Hope. Alistair kept in touch with quiet support. A text, a coffee, a brief chat in the garden. One evening on the rooftop, Alistair found her with a notebook. "Planning the future?" he asked. She nodded. "I want to open a boutique hotel, elegant, warm, where no one feels invisible." He smiled. "When you're ready, I'd like to invest." She laughed. "You already did." "No," he said gently. "That was just the seed. I want to help you grow the tree." Emotion swirled inside her. Gratitude, hope, maybe something more. "Why me?" she asked again. "I've spent years with people who take," Alistair said. "You give, even when no one's watching. The world needs more of that." They sat in silence, wrapped in night's promise. Some stories begin with triumph, others with tragedy. Alara's began with mud on a gray morning. Serafina's careless act was meant to humiliate, but instead became Alara's awakening. IT exposed cracks in the system, cruelty beneath the surface, and opened a door neither expected. Alara stepped through it with grace, finding dignity in someone who saw her worth before the world did. She wasn't just surviving anymore. She was rising, and this time, no one would look away.